welcome to Almost Real, an honest talk between two friends. When me, Camila CG, and my wonderful friend Josh Wilson are talking about life. So, Josh, how have you been?
How have I been? Good, 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 good. Busy, 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 busy. My wife is getting into photography. She's starting her own photography business. So all this week, I was building her a website, which I'd never really done before. So that was an adventure. That was an experience. But yeah, I think it's turned out okay ish. Couple tweaks and fixes needed there. But yeah, so that was most of the week was that, as well as the usual like improv and RPGs and all the regular stuff I do day to day. And Camilla, how about yourself?
My week was a bit less exciting because I had an ill kid who I took care of most of the time. She caught a nasty virus from a nursery, and she's fighting kind of this virus now all the time. And it's exhausting for her, it's exhausting for me. So yeah, that's been pretty much my week. I did start watching series with one of my favorite comedians, Noel, which is really nice. And I did manage to work a little bit, even though I have always been. So the point was on Thursday, I think, or on Wednesday, we had a big call with a company that I work as a freelancer for, and they so they scheduled this call, and it was at the same time as my husband was doing stand up in the evening, and it was on the same day when my daughter's temperature was rising all the time in the evening. So she had temperature during the day, and it started to escalate in the evening. She fell asleep. I left the room. I managed to present myself. I was like, "Hey, I'm Camilla, blah blah blah." And then I listened a little bit after what they said or asked, and just a few more introductions. And like a few moments after, my daughter started crying, and I came to her, and she was having a fever. So I was like, "Sorry guys, gotta run." But yeah, I kind of managed to do that. I did feel very sad for my daughter because she was not feeling great, and I was more focused on her rather than on work at this time. I honestly do not understand how moms manage work and kids. Shall we go back to our love questions?
I mean, yeah, probably. And also, like, very, very quickly, we don't have to spend a ton of time on it, but how was your husband's stand up? How did the show go?
He said it was fine. I don't know. He didn't want to show me his joke up until the moment I literally asked him, like, "Why are you not showing me the script?" He's like, "I don't know." And then he showed it to me, and I read it.
You're really teasing this out. Camilla, we do have a time to hit, but we don't have to take such big breaks.
The thing is that I did like, I mean, there was some good ideas for jokes. I didn't like the way he decided to show them. I did suggest him to like my vision of that. There was some jokes that I just didn't like in general.
I just, I'm just gonna pause. I'm just gonna pause you. I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna pause you because I have a little bit. So you read through his jokes. I'm just looking for context. You read through his jokes. You went, yeah, some of these are fine. Some of these are good ideas. They're good starting off points. It's not how I envision you telling these jokes, though. When I see you telling these jokes, I think I see it more like this. You know, I really think your delivery should be like this. And I think, the theme's a little, I don't know, beneath you, perhaps. Like, it doesn't fit with my conception or my vision of what I expect you to do for your show. Was that sort of the
No, no.
no? Because it kind of sounded like
Yeah, the
that's what it
problem was that I didn't
was.
really think that different people want to deliver their stand up differently. I was just thinking how I would deliver that, and I just shared him my vision of that, and he was like, "But that's like it's you. It's like clearly you, and the way you could have brought this up." And I was like, "Yeah, fine, okay." I was a bit too judgmental. I think I think I yeah, because there is another guy who kind of
Oh
helped them to
no.
come up with it was like a stand-up delivered by people from the university basically, because my husband is a postdoc at a university, and yeah, so he was kind of helping them out, and my husband said that he actually liked his jokes. I was like, "Oh, this is so good."
Oh
I know,
no,
I know, it's a shame.
Camilla.
I had a hard week.
Oh, it sounds like your husband did too.
uh, I don't know. I shouldn't have asked for him to show me this.
I mean, I think it's fair to be curious, and I think it's fair to want to see and want to support your partner. Camilla, I swear to God, every single time I start talking, it feels like you're moving a camera or
I realized I
changing a
forgot to
light
turn
or
it on.
something. Literally, all that we hear on the thing is like as you're moving stuff around, and I'm talking.
All right, fine, fine. I'll stop. Wait, let me put it somewhere.
You can't. You're holding it in your hand. Everything you do now is
Wait,
going to be
wait.
moving
I'll
it.
stop. I'll stop. I'll
Just
stop.
get
I'll
it
stop. I'll
settled,
stop.
and then I'll
Sorry.
continue
Sorry.
saying what I
Sorry.
was going to say.
Shit. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
I don't know
We
why
got
it
time,
was
I guess.
standing. Why it's not standing anywhere now. All right, done.
All right. So let's jump into it. Camilla, so we finished set 1 in the last episode. Now
Mhm.
we're on set 2. So let's begin. Number 13. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
I know it's a weird answer, but are we ever going to solve the pollution problem?
Just, well, that's, hey, a little bleak, potentially, but potentially not. Good things to know, eh? Is there going to be a world
Is
that
yeah.
is worth
Generally,
living
actually, I
in
think
the
my question would
future?
be: is there going to be a better world?
I'm much more self-serving than that. I will also ask a question about the future, but I'm going to ask a question about like, what are the winning lottery numbers? You know, like I'm just going to ask for like, what's the the U.S. $1 billion Powerball winning lottery number things? That's what I would do, and then I'd just be set for life.
Well done, Josh.
Well, I mean, money, right? I want it. All right.
So
Next
go on.
question, I guess. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it?
Wow. I dreamed of doing something creative and basically making this my living. So, like, earning money with this. And it has always been a hobby of mine.
So why haven't you done it? Why haven't you made that work?
Because I never believed in myself enough. I always thought that I was like mediocre. I was like a relatively okay singer. I was a fine actor. I was an okay improviser. I was a fine event manager. And yeah, so I always thought that other people are better than me at this who actually do this.
I'm going to say this. I have some thoughts on this. Here are my thoughts on this. One, yes, there will always be someone better than you. Always. There's always someone better than you at everything. You will never be the best at anything. This was something that I remember being told in my first year of acting or second year when I was studying acting in university. Is you'll never be the best. There will always be someone out there better than you. And you need to kind of come to terms with that. The goal is to always be better than you were before, to try to strive to be better, but not to be the best. So my answer will be speaking Russian. Why haven't I done it? I haven't sat down and actually like learned the language. I've reached a point where it's passable. I can speak passably, somewhat, not really. Restaurant Russian. Yeah, it's just the thing with language learning is I think a lot of people assume that it's going to just be like, oh, I lived in the country, I'm immersed in it, I'm gonna pick it up. And in some ways you do. In some ways you do
If you're
pick up stuff. But
if
if
you're a
you're
2-year-old,
not like actively, no, but 2-year-olds are way worse at learning languages than adults. Like 100%.
I mean, they pick it up real
If you put
quickly.
me in a room with a 2-year-old, I will learn a language faster than a 2-year-old. My brain is fully developed. Their brain is not. A
Fine.
2-year-old can barely hold a fork, Camilla. I can speak. This is one of those misconceptions that I hate, is that like, oh, children learn languages faster or better. No, they don't. Absolutely not. Right? How long did it take
Oh,
for her to start speaking sentences? Right? A couple of years?
yeah, yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
can sit down for a month and learn a language and be able to have basic conversations. Like
I
very, very
doubt you
simple
can do that
conversation.
in. I doubt that you can do it in
In a
Russian.
month?
In Russian, Russian is a very complicated language.
It's not. You can learn a few
Like all the
phrases.
true, true. Like all the
You
endings.
don't have
That's
to speak
more
correctly.
like
2-year-olds don't speak correctly, right?
true. Yeah. The
Well, and here's the thing: like everyone's like, "Oh, kids, kids, kids." I'm like, kids can't. They just can't. Not the same way adults do. Kids have more time to learn. Is the big thing, right? They have fewer. They have fewer distractions. You can't. Yeah, you can't compare an adult learning to a child learning, which is why there's different schools of like learning, whether you're teaching children pedagogy or whether you're teaching adults andragogy, right? Two different ideas, two different ways of doing that, because adults learn differently than children. Adults have fully formed brains, children still developing up until they're like 25.
yeah.
Anyway, the reason why I haven't learned Russian is mostly because I'm lazy and I just haven't sat down and done it. What a tirade I went on. I feel very passionately about this though. Yeah, kids aren't better language learners than adults. Just not
All
true.
right. All
Objectively
right. All
not
right.
true.
All right.
Yeah.
You feel it feels very like personal to you for some
It's just
reason.
one of those things, like, so living and working in Russia and teaching English to children, and I would constantly hear from everyone, it's like, oh well, kids pick it up fast, they're really good at learning languages. I'm like, no, they're not. It's incredible to see like how they can go over a span of a year, right? Like I worked in like immersion schools where we only spoke English to the kids. They had to speak English. They were working with native English speakers all day, every day, 8-10 hours a day sometimes, because their parents would come very late to pick them up. 5 days a week of English, and you can see their progress, and they're doing great. And they have lessons as well, so they're learning to write and to read and stuff. And after a year, they're having like conversations and being able to express themselves in a language they didn't know before. You stick me in a room 12 hours a day studying a language.
Yeah, same. I never actually thought that if we did the same with adults, it would be also relatively similar.
No
Even
time
better,
at
I
all.
think.
I firmly believe that if you study for an hour a day, like actively study a language for an hour a day, speak it, learn words, phrases, whatever it is, an hour a day for 6 months, you'll be at like a B1, B2 level in that language. Anyway, this is a diatribe about language learning from someone who's monolingual,
I'm not
who's not really
monolingual.
learned another language. You're not, you're
I'm
trilingual.
not. Kinda, yeah.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
kind of? You speak French, English, and Russian for sure.
Yeah. I also was trying to learn German, Spanish, and Tata. Anyway, shall we move to the 15th question?
The question number 15, sure.
Yeah.
What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
That's easy. My daughter. No, I think it literally. I mean, I do love all the things I did, but she's just great.
Greatest accomplishment in my life? I have so many to choose from.
You gotta pick one, Josh. You gotta
So
pick one.
many. I could say my wife. I could say getting married. I could say living in Russia. I could say doing voiceover work, doing some like cartoons and stuff. The greatest accomplishment, though, the thing that I'm most proud of, was probably, yeah, like the first year I moved to Russia. I was in like a really dark place. I mean, I didn't know the language at all. I couldn't even read Cyrillic. And I didn't know anyone. I had no friends. I went to work and I came home and that was it. And I did that for like 3 months, basically until like New Year's. And then I went, this has to change. The way I'm living is not good. I'm not happy. I need to focus on doing other things, like getting out and doing stuff. So I made it a goal of mine to go out and do things. And I did. And I pulled myself out of that sort of, I don't want to say like depression, but that sort of like darker place I was in, where I went to a pretty dark place, but I came out the other side. So I'm going to say that was it. That's probably my greatest accomplishment. Recognizing I was struggling and recognizing what I needed to do to make it better, then doing it and achieving it.
No, that's great. That really is great.
Number 16, what do you value most in friendship?
You say first.
I'll go first. What do I value most in friendship? I don't know, like laughs and good times. It's nice to have that like deeper emotional connection as well, where you can kind of like you can say and tell things. I remember one time it was like really late at night. I was with my buddies and we just like talked. We were just and we got like deep into stuff and we were sharing stories and memories, like not positive experiences we had, and we just had like a really like good solid bonding moment. So I really valued that. That was really, really good. But yeah, like also the little stuff, just like hanging out, having a good time, pursuing creative projects together, reliability and forthrightness. I don't know. All those things. All those things. Value most though, I don't know, just fun, good times.
I think for me, it's the vibe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or I usually, well, it depends at the beginning, but then it kind of like people who I'm comfortable with. So it usually is a set of things, but the general feeling is that I'm just comfortable being with these people, and these are usually my good friends. I'm not really comfortable. I mean, with many people, because people usually think that I am. Because I'm an extrovert and I easily engage into a conversation and I easily um, have a very happy face. I very rarely am fully comfortable with other people. But I do love when we have similar values or like ground basis on lots of different questions in life. And when you don't have to explain, like when you can make a silly joke and you don't have to explain that you didn't mean anything bad because they know you.
All right, next question. What is your most treasured memory?
You go.
Most treasured memory. There's a lot. Literally the first thing that came into my mind, though, and I don't know if this is my most treasured, but it's the first one that came into my mind. Was I went to Paris? I was visiting Paris, and I met up with a couple of friends. We stayed there together, and we went to the Eiffel Tower because, of course, we went up the Eiffel Tower, and I think it was the first floor or the second floor of the Eiffel Tower. I don't know why I have to keep repeating the name, the Eiffel Tower, the Eiffel Tower, the Eiffel Tower.
I like people to
Oh
know
no,
you
it's
were in
appeared. It's
Paris.
like Beetlejuice. Uh, no, so we went up, and on the second floor, first or second floor, I can't remember exactly. There was an ice skating rink they had put out for Christmas for December, right? And it was unseasonably warm, so it was quite a bit melted and awful. And my friend and I, his girlfriend did not want to ice skate, but it was free, and we thought, hey, we're on the Eiffel Tower, what a wild experience. And so I can't ice skate, but I got skates on, and he can ice skate, so he got his skates on. He was going around, and I have the little like kids penguin thing to keep myself upright because the ice is like it's wibbly wobbly, it's full of puddles, it's awful. But yeah, just to say, oh yeah, I skated on top of the Eiffel Tower, and again, don't know if it's my most treasured memory, but definitely the first one that came into my head when I read the question. So the Eiffel Tower with my buddy and his girlfriend.
I have so many memories. I can't really. Okay, let's do the first one that came up to mind. The first one that came up to my mind was we went to Edinburgh Fringe with my husband, my now husband. He wasn't my husband back in days. He was just my boyfriend. We were having fun. There were lots of really cool shows, lots of not really cool shows, but it's generally a really cool experience. I really enjoyed. I loved Scotland. I loved Edinburgh. So we were just wandering around the city at night, and there was this place. I don't even remember where exactly it was. I think it was like a small garden next to a university building or next to the castle that they have like in the city center. And there was some like blue lights or something. It was very romantic, very nice. And we were kind of at the point in our relationship when he was supposed to propose. It was kind of going
Oh.
there.
Hmm.
And it was the best moment to do this. Like, I was sitting there, I was like, that's like the right time. Um, and I remember him turning to me and he was like, I know it feels like the right time, but I don't have the ring.
Self-aware, so self-aware.
But it's like real, actually, like it's so cool how things like this click in our hands without
Having to
discussion.
say
Like,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like the first memory that came up to my mind.
Oh, that's really nice. That's super, super nice. All right. So 17, what was your most treasured memory? Number 18, what is your most terrible memory?
I have one. You probably remember that as well. I had absolutely horrible discussion and negotiation with one of the manager of the places that we rented out for an improv event. I just had it was just the worst discussion that I ever had in my life.
My most terrible memory was when I spent 5 days in like a Russian psychiatric hospital, or a psychiatric kind of hospital in Russia, or a hospital with. So anyway, I don't. It's hard to explain. I had. I'll just go through the story very quick. I had burned my esophagus through a combination of like this like lemon tea thing that I was drinking because I was sick and like throwing up. So the hydrochloric acid from my stomach, the ascorbic acid from this drink, um, and it got worse. So anyway, long story short, I ended up not being able to like drink anything or eat anything. So I wasn't able to even drink water for like 3 days. But then it got better and I was able to drink water. So that was good. And I wasn't able to eat anything for like a week. And we went to multiple doctors and, got things checked out. And when we went to one clinic, they were like, when was the last time he ate? It was like about a week ago. They went, oh, he needs to go to the hospital. And there's a hospital in Moscow and they have something for this, a gastroscopy thing, like a special healing laser gastroscopy. So we go there and they're like, okay, we're gonna check you in and whatnot. They tell me no like strings in your pants, no like shoelaces. You can't have a cell phone. You can't have like all this stuff. And I was like, what? I don't speak any Russian at this point, like or like basically none. And you can't. You can only have family. Only family can visit you, and only one person from your family can visit you. So you have to like choose who can visit you. I'm like, my family's not here. I'm in Russia alone. It's my girlfriend um, and her family, who I'm staying with. So she ends up talking to them and explaining like he doesn't speak Russian. He's gonna need help. I'm his girlfriend. I'll be his like family. So she's able to come and go for I think an hour a day. All of this seems a little bit weird. The doors are all locked, so you can't leave. There's like bars on the windows and everything. It's incredibly hot. There's like 6 of us in one room, and there's a bunch of different rooms. No knives or forks in the kitchen, only spoons. No toilet seats on the toilets. There's a window into the toilet so you can see. You can't shower unless you're being supervised. So later on, I found out that this is a sort of the place where people get sent if they've like tried to kill themselves.
Oh, so misunderstanding happened.
I guess so. So there were like I met a guy who worked as an audio technician for Channel One, and he spoke English. No one else spoke English there, of course. Uh, and he was like, "Yeah, they just misunderstanding. Like I OD'd, but like I don't do drugs like crazy, and like I just need to get out of here, but they won't let me out, and all this other stuff." I've allegedly met the president of Lebanon's brother, so he claimed, and helped him get out of the hospital. But it was awful. It was a horrible, awful experience. I hated every moment of it. I had to wait over the weekend because I think I was admitted on a Friday or a Thursday. The machine was only going to be available on Monday. Went on Monday, got the test done. They said, "Oh, we'd like him to stay like 2 or 3 more days and do it again." I went, "No, I'm out of here." I left without like against their wishes because I was like, I can't stay here. I absolutely cannot stay here. I absolutely cannot stay here anymore. It was just awful. It was just awful. Okay, well, let's move away from terrible memories to also something sad. Wow, set two. Question number 19. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are now living? Why?
I try to do more. I mean, I do a lot, but I try to do even more, I think. Something like that.
What do you mean by do more?
I'd maybe travel a little bit more around, just explore the places. I'd definitely get a insurance or something so that my relatives could get some money.
I would reconnect with my friends who I haven't spoken to for a while. I'd really like try to be better about that. Really make try to have like at least one kind of moment with like all the people who I've met and I care about throughout my life. What else? I wouldn't worry about having a job. Wouldn't really worry about earning money. Yeah, so I don't know if I would change too much about how I was living at the moment. I would just feel maybe less stressed about looking for work and employment and career and all those sort of things, but more stressed about leaving people behind. Well, the next one is, what does friendship mean to you? Question 20. What does friendship mean to you? We kind of talked about that and what do you value most in friendship? Well,
Yeah.
friendship means, well, no, because that was what you value in friendship. What does friendship mean to you? To me, friendship, someone you like being around, who you have a good time with, who you laugh with, who you can maybe connect with on a deeper level too. Like you can have some of those big conversations. Someone who knows maybe some of the darker stuff in your life. Some of the darker stuff in theirs. But at the same time, there's still a lot of like laughter and yeah, just like good vibes. That's what friendship means to me.
Quite the same. Just someone who is easy to be around, and I just love being with. And I want to see actually, and like I'm not worried about what they think if I don't know if I look like a mess or uh, if I have bad news or if I have awesome news. Who are like happy to hear from me, anything, or like they'd be okay with me bringing either kind of news or either kind of I don't know content. Yeah, laughs, vibes. Yeah, very very similar. But yeah, just someone who I love being around.
There you go. Question number 21. What roles do love and affection play in your life?
Quite a big one, I'd say. Um, well, love definitely. Don't know about affection because affection is something a bit more spontaneous to me. Yeah, don't feel like yeah. I feel like if an affection is has been for too long, it probably becomes love for me. I value it. It changes slightly. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I'm a very emotional person, and I do feel everything on a very deep emotional level. So love is one of the very nice emotions that I truly enjoy having in my life and feeling. So yeah, it's a big part of it's just a big part of my life. If it affects any decisions I make, I don't know, but that was not a question. So
Yeah. For me, love and affection are different things. Love for me is not an emotion. It's not a feeling. Love is a commitment. It's something that you decide to make every day, right? It's the decision to be with your partner or your friend or your family member, even when things aren't going well, or you're not in a good place, or they're not in a good place. Love is a recommitment every single day, whereas affection is sort of that like that feels more like emotional to me, right? Like you're being affected. It's affection. So I would say that I'm very affectionate with my wife. Her and I are very affectionate towards each other. But I found as I've like gotten older, and I don't know if it's just my view of the world changing or um, just the perceptions maybe worldwide have changed, but I was much more affectionate to like my friends when I was younger, when I was in college. I was a theater student, so of course there was a lot of like hugging and, you know, but I was much more affectionate to my friends. And I found that like growing up, I've become more closed off in terms of like giving hugs or like being physically affectionate towards friends of mine. And I think that's because I don't want to be perceived in a negative way. And there's a lot of like unwanted physical touch that can happen between people. And we're often conditioned to like, if we're in a social situation and we don't want to be hugged, but everyone else is getting hugs, it's like, well, I don't want to be different as well, right? So I just don't want to put people into that sort of situation. So I don't know if it's because I'm more cognizant or because I'm more worried or more afraid that I'm less affectionate as a byproduct of that towards my friends, I would say. Unless we're like really close and like we've established that.
I think we hugged when we were
Oh yeah, of
in uni. I
course.
think
Yeah,
like
all the time.
all the improv
All of
crew.
us. All of us.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and then we had a relationship for that had been built up for a while. But
true.
the crew the crews I do improv with now, not a lot of hug. One group, I don't think I've really hugged anyone there. And then the other group, there's a couple of times where we've been like, oh yeah, great job. But it's not the same to the same level.
Interesting.
Anyway, yeah, stuff. All right, number 22. This could be fun. Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. So you go, I go, or I go, you go, and we're saying something that we believe is a positive characteristic of the other person. So would you like to start or would you like me to start?
You start.
I start. Okay. Positive characteristic. You're very driven. You're very hardworking. When you get your teeth into something, you chomp down and you like get it done. I think that's a very positive trait.
Thank you. um, I think you are a very open-hearted person. Um, it feels nice to be near you. It feels like yeah, you're welcome. You're welcoming people. You're how to say you're happy to welcome people and to say them things like you can be you. I'm just happy to be. So it feels like you feel comfy, cozy, open-hearted. Yeah, stuff like that.
Thank you. My second one for you is you're funny.
Oh,
You make me laugh. Yeah.
actually, I don't know if it's allowed, but you're also very funny. So, um,
That's fine. You can ride my coattails. Well, that was quick, so I don't have as much time to think. Positive characteristic. You're quite empathetic, compassionate towards other people.
you are very creative. You can come up with very interesting and moving ideas and some interesting twists in the plot. So yeah, you're very creative.
You seem to believe the best in people. You really truly believe that anyone can do anything, and that they are capable of incredible things. You see the best in everyone.
I like to have this mindset. A bit hard in this world, but yeah. I think you are a very good and loving partner, friend, and maybe even a stranger. Just a very friendly and nice person to be around yeah, who's just a good friend partner.
Good friend partner. So fifth, this is the fifth one, right? I wasn't really counting. I think this is my fifth one for you. Yeah. Fifth positive trait. Motherhood. Like you're a good mother. You take care of your daughter. You worry about her.
You have no idea what kind of a mother I am. You never saw me in action. Oh man. It might be a cheeky one for me to say, but I do think that if you ever have kids, you'll be a good father.
Aw.
No,
I
but
feel like
yeah,
you're stealing another one from me,
I
but
am. I
no, I
am.
appreciate it.
But
I
it was
think
a
that's a very
sweet
nice thing to
one.
say. Yeah, that's very sweet. So let's hop into the next one. Number 23. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
My childhood was awesome. No, really, I can't complain. I'm the only child as well. So I guess it's a slightly different experience when you have siblings. I think there are some really cool bits when you have siblings to like have relationships with siblings as well, but I guess all attention goes to you if you're a single child. And yeah, I'm still very close with my family, so we've always been close. We are still very close. So yeah, I think maybe too close for like we talk a lot. We talk like almost every day with each other. We check in on each other all the time, um, to be sure that all is fine, um, all is good. Yeah, it is a little bit sometimes too much, and we get really tired of each other, and we can't really properly admit it. None of us. Uh, but it is what it is. We kind of learned how to deal with it. Also, I'm very uh, similar. I'm almost like my dad in terms of how I behave, what I say, how I say it, the tone, the attitude. And whenever we are together, we can exhaust each other if we'll be with each other for too long. And we also know it. So it's kind of funny. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I love my family. So yeah, can't and I had a great childhood.
Fantastic. I'm very close to my family as well. My immediate family, my extended family, not close.
Yeah,
Not close with
immediately.
my like cousins or aunts, uncles, anything like that. Geography played a large part, but also just we kind of kept to ourselves. I think mostly quite warm. I think I would say my family is quite warm, and I do think, having heard a lot of people talk about their childhoods, even my sister didn't seem to have as happy a childhood as myself. Um, Not necessarily like because of family and stuff, although she did not super get along with like my mom and dad. There was a lot of, especially in the morning, my dad would drive us to school, and my sister is not a morning person, so she would be running late, and then he would be upset. My dad and my sister are so similar, and they can set each other off like, or they used to be. They're much better now, but yeah, they're very similar. And my mom and I are very similar, and we were the peacekeepers of the house. So growing up, my dad and my sister would be fighting about something, and or my mom and my sister, and I was usually just like kind of off to the side, being like, "Calm down, everyone." Uh, that being said, yeah, no, great childhood. I don't think I'm carrying around too much trauma, and if I am, that's something to talk about in therapy. Uh, all right, last question. Question number 24. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
Ooh.
Ooh, I'll let you stew on that. I can go first if you would
Yeah,
like.
go. Yeah, go first. Go
Or do
on.
you want to go? No, no. It's if you got it.
No, the thing is that I thought about this a lot since becoming a mom, and
Mm-hmm.
um, there are a lot of things that. So sometimes my mom does things, and I get upset by her doing them. But then I realize that she only meant something good, because she's my mom, and she wants only the best for me. And before I became a mom, I did not really understand it to a full extent, and now I do. So whenever I see something that I probably didn't want her to do, I realize that she's my mom. She just wants the best for me. She just wants to help. Um, and she never actually like crosses any boundaries or something. There are just like some things. Uh, and right now, I'm not even upset by them because I know that she means good. And I kind of just pause myself and I tell myself, like, hey, you know that she just wanted good things. She just wanted you to be happy. Just chill. She's your mom. Anytime now I feel like we were in a conflict, I always try to come back and negotiate it and get out of it as well. Because I'm like, she's my mom. She wants the best for me, and she really does. And if now I can be the person who comes and turn the conflict into um, loving connection back, then yeah, why not? She gave me so much. It might be my turn now. So yeah.
Kind of already said it, but yeah, my mom and I have a pretty good relationship. We're very similar in a lot of ways. We're still very close. I'm probably closer with her than with my father. Yeah, uh, but still, I think still good positive relationships abound. My mom's the kind of the person, like, if I need advice on something, or if I have a question about something, or I have something I need to do, I'm not quite sure how to do it. She's the person I would probably go to first, depending on if it's anything like business related or work related or like interpersonal, etc. She's probably the person I would go to first, um, and talk to about it. Yeah, just always kind of been my confidant in that sense, and always there to kind of help me sort through the problems and issues of life.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. All right, Camilla, we did it. Set 2 done. Second set. Second set done. We're that much closer to being in love. We're 2/3 of the way to love. Um, incredible. How
Yep.
are you feeling after set 2? How are you feeling after learning
I
all this
ha-
stuff about me?
I have no idea how this is connected to us falling in love. um,
I
but I
guess it's
did
just you learn about people and it builds like that connection. I guess.
maybe, yeah, because even without these questions, yeah, of course we learn about each other's stuff that we never talked about before. Like we never discussed our relationship with parents or all this kind of things. Although I kind of knew that you were close with your family. I mean, you might guess it because they were the reason why everyone found out that you got married with Nadia. And not because you wrote to your friends about that, but because they posted a picture
I
of you
know.
getting married.
We kept it on the
um,
DL. We
yeah,
kept it on the straight and down low. Yeah.
so I might assume that because they post and they're
Well, I
involved.
couldn't. I couldn't not tell my family.
Yeah,
Um, we thought
but
about it though. We did think about it, and I was like, you have to tell your
no,
parents."
yeah,
Telling my wife, "You have to tell your parents. Your mom would crucify you." Uh, and my parents would also be upset, but I feel like they would be fine eventually. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, don't really understand what connection to love that is. But yeah, we didn't on purposefully said nice things to each other, probably as well.
No,
We might
no, I
have
don't think so.
just,
Not on purpose.
yeah, yeah, by
Accidentally said
accident.
nice things. How dare we? How dare we? Never again, Camilla. Only intentional nice things. Well, that's the episode, right?
It is. We need an outro.
All right. We need an outro. Thank
People
you all so much for
subscribe.
listening. Subscribe. Well, that's the thing is we never do a call to action, Camilla. We never tell people
Never.
to listen to more.
We
Um,
should listen to
listen to
more.
our podcast. Watch our shorts on YouTube. There's videos.
Yeah.
Go do all the stuff. We would love to
Subscribe.
share more of our lives with you. Subscribe for. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Truly and honestly, just so much thanks for you because none of this would exist without you. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode. Probably going to finish off these questions because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time. Hopefully, you're enjoying your time too.
I think my favorite question was, what is your most treasured memory? So if anyone would share that, I think it's like very nice to try to remember some nice memories.
Yeah, share with us your most treasured memory. I love that. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, take care and have a great one.
Bye.
It's gonna be, yeah, there's my sister yelling for me. Yeah, Molly, I'm recording right now. Okay, I'll give me like 30, 45 minutes, okay? Thank you.